Well, this is the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence and the birthday of our country, the United States of America. And as part of that celebration, year-long celebration, there is a redoing of the production of Home of the Brave, which was done here several times by Roger Gales at the B&L Performing Arts Center. And I have two guests here with me today. I have Becky Muncy and I have Frank Battaglia here, and they are both involved with this new production of Home of the Brave. We're here to talk about it and also to let you know how you could get involved with it if you're interested. And so, Becky, Frank, thanks for coming.
Well, thank you for having us, and we're excited about doing this. Roger did it 10 years ago, 2016, I believe, 2002 and 2003. I was involved twice. Frank, I don't believe you've been involved in this particular musical, right?
I have played my horn in this.
You pegged your horn.
Yes,
Okay.
and a couple on all three of them, I think. Yeah.
Right. But this is the musical, Home of the Brave, and the production dates are going to be June 28th and 29th. But Frank, tell them a little bit about orchestra, choir, how we're going to go
Well,
about
before you
that.
do that, Frank, I just want people to know they're doing this musical, and these are two musical people. They're not people we picked up off the street and said, hey, we'd like to do this show, and what are you guys doing? So before we do that, Becky and Frank, if you want to give a little background for people who may not know who you are and what your connection is to music and performing arts here.
Well, actually, we worked together for quite a few years. I was the elementary music teacher at Dollins and Parkview and Lincoln, and we were working together at Dollins.
Yes, we taught together, and I was at Olytic, and you were at Olytic for a while as well, or Dollins or whatever, and I had worked at the junior high as well and somewhat at the high school. Also was the director of music at First Baptist Church for many years, and we've done a few of these sorts of musicals over the years, so yeah.
And if you were to describe this musical, just kind of an overview of what it is for people who maybe didn't see one of the previous productions, how would you describe it? What is it?
Well, it's a patriotic musical, basically. It's got a lot of great patriotic songs, some old ones that everyone will recognize, and then there's a few that are original works that you may or may not recognize, but that doesn't detract from how impactful and powerful they are. But we're really just wanting to celebrate our country and being American, and hopefully we can share it with as many people as possible and get as many people involved in the choir and the orchestra as we possibly can, and just, bring in this 250th anniversary with some great color. But it should be a really fun thing, and we're really blessed to be able to do it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Becky, so we've got you handling choir.
I'll be working with the choir with Tammy Spradlin, and then Frank will be working with the orchestra, and then we'll have separate rehearsals starting probably about the end of April and going through May, and then we'll put both together as it gets closer.
Right.
So you said rehearsals start in April. You're going to be this takes a lot of people to pull it off. I know it's not just you two. There's other people involved in the production as well who are already starting to plan it. As far as other people that maybe you are looking for, who would that be, and how would they kind of find out more?
Well, I know there's a Facebook page for Home of the Brave that you can find, and eventually we'll put out more information and sign-ups and that kind of thing, because there'll be a choir, so we'll let people that enjoy singing can sign up for the choir. In fact, there's quite a few people I've heard already that have said, wow, I sang in that back in 2016 or whatever, and still have their book.
Right.
So that would be one way, and then Frank, why don't you tell your end of it?
We'll beat the bushes for some instrumentalists for the orchestra. I'll be contacting my email list to find out who's interested, and same with the choir and the vocalists. We'll hit as many people from our churches and from our email lists as possible, and then of course we're going to do things like this to get the word out that, you know, we're having practice on X date, and we'd love to have you come and sing with us.
Right.
And should be a wonderful event.
Absolutely.
So the Facebook page is one of the main ways to connect and
Right.
to share that with others. Maybe you're not going to sing or play, but maybe you know people who would be interested in doing that, and to
Right.
share that with others. This program originally, when it was done before, was Roger Gale's baby,
Right.
and this is kind of in honor of him and in memory of him. And what are your kind of memories of those? Because I know both of you were involved. Your memories of those productions and Roger's input and what he did with those.
Well, it was definitely his baby. I was involved through the children's choir. Tammy and I worked with the children's choir at 2 of them. I don't believe I was involved in the third, but I think, Frank, you were on the end of the orchestra, right?
Right.
Playing in it.
I played in the orchestra under Roger, and it, of course, was great. And he has a knack for pulling together interesting things like this, and so we're going to bring it back.
Absolutely. One thing that is cool now is B&L has been upgraded. They have some technology things that are going to make it even better. So we're looking forward to that end of it and getting to utilize some of those things.
Which enables you to kind of take the show, but also revamp it, do some things differently that maybe you couldn't have done in previous versions.
Absolutely. Things change in 10 years.
Was the first time that this was done, was that shortly after 9/11?
It was
It
2002.
was. I think it was 2003.
Was it
wasn't
3?
Or 2?
I think it was 2002
perhaps.
and then 2003 and then
Okay.
2016. So yes, you're
Yes.
right.
So that was kind of the impetus
I think so.
at the beginning
Yes.
to do this.
Yeah.
Okay. What do rehearsals look like? If I'm interested in thinking, I might sing in the choir, what would that look like time commitment wise, and how?
That would be once a week for like from 6:30 to 7:30, 8 o'clock, something like that. You would have a book, and then we would go through all the parts and rehearse once a week from like the end of April to right up to the time that we do the production. So something like that.
Okay. And is there a cost associated with any of this?
The only cost at this point in time is like the cost of the book, which is about $7, I believe, and maybe a shirt.
Okay.
That would be about it. And your time,
Right.
most important thing.
And for the public, when it comes around, there's no admission fee or anything like that.
No, it's free to the public.
Okay. And that's, again, what are the dates for that?
It's June the 28th and June the 29th at the PAC, at the B&L PAC. We quite honestly don't have a time yet, but all of that will come out on the Facebook page.
Okay. What else? What else about Home of the Brave? Would you like people to know that? We're 5 months out, but
Yeah. Well, it's really a lot more than just a musical. There's a lot of music involved, and there's the choir and the orchestra, of course, but there's a lot of other neat things that go on. We bring people from the past, Ronald Reagan and people like that. They use their voices for impact in certain situations, and we will honor the different service organizations throughout the evening or the afternoon, whichever. And so it's a lot more than just sitting and listening to music, but it'll put a tingle up your spine, I think, if you were to attend.
Absolutely. I think it's a good reminder of our history, the great things about our country.
right.
Yeah.
We certainly think with the climate of our country right now that it's a good time for it.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to celebrate.
Right. Focus on the things that unite us.
Absolutely.
Well, it's starting.
It's starting.
Things are getting going with,
Yes.
with this, and they're really start in April.
End of April, and that's probably for the orchestra. I'd say the choir maybe 1st of May. That's what we got to pin down. We've got a
Okay.
tentative thing here. And I'm thinking that the choir rehearsals will be here at Stonegate. And then Frank, I believe, at First Baptist.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Orchestra.
All right. Well, sounds good. Well, anything else before we wrap up today?
Well, just thanks for having us.
Sure.
And
Really.
everybody get excited for the red, white, and blue.
Yes. Yeah. Great. Well, again, check for that Facebook page, and we'll have more information here in the description of the video for that contact information and so forth. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you,
All
Jordan.
right.